chair. Got my guy Zach Harper here real quick. We're going to be jamming on everything. Everything from the new dynamic duo of LeBron James and Lance Stevenson, all the way down the line to the third tiers, the fourth tiers, the fifth tiers, but most importantly, the first tiers and the potential first tier signings over the coming days, weeks, months, the DeMarcus Cousins, the Kawhi Leonards of the world. So, without any further ado, let's just kind of dive into it. Where were you when the LeBron James announcement came, and what was your reaction?
So I was in a bar in Manhattan Beach in beautiful Los Angeles area, and there was no service in that bar. And right as I walked outside the bar, that's when the news actually broke. So it kind of felt like the universe was waiting for me to get service back on my phone. Shams Charania, Woj, like all these guys start tweeting about it. I'm like, oh, wow, LeBron Lakers, kind of knew he was going to go that way. And then, wow, 4-year deal. Did not think he was going to go that way because LeBron's been very much about I'm keeping my options open. I've got versatility, going 1-1. You can kind of, keep looking at the lay of the land each summer. But no, he's locked in. He's 33 years old, next 4 years. This is the final chapter of his prime in any way. And he has decided it is Lakers for me. And that's where I'm going to end my prime. It's a big deal. Obviously it's a big deal because it's LeBron, but it's a big deal because there is no flexibility anymore.
That's right. And the first thing that I thought was he's now under contract until his 19th NBA season, which is just crazy to think about from a statistical standpoint. And this dude has never suffered any serious injuries, and he's gone deep in just about every single postseason that he's been in. Obviously, the last decade is a pretty perfect example of that. So just looking at how many games from a record standpoint that he's going to have in his prime and just being the LeBron James to be able to march up in every statistical category imaginable.
And also, the fact that he is doing this for the Lakers, the Lakers are irrelevant, right? We want to care about the Lakers every summer, and then we get to a point where LaMarcus Aldridge is having a second meeting with the Lakers a couple summers ago because he was like, I don't know what they want to do basketball-wise. That's how bad it got to where LaMarcus Aldridge, who's a fine player, right? All-NBA guy, all-star and all that, but he's not a franchise guy. And even he's I don't know what the Lakers want with me on a basketball court. Let me go clarify that. That was kind of the low point. Not Dwight leaving, not the Kobe injury, any of that. The fact that they couldn't even get LaMarcus Aldridge on board after one meeting, let alone two. And now to get LeBron back in, the Lakers mystique is back. In some way, Magic Johnson came through. He has done something here to at least give them a chance to be not just relevant again, but maybe contenders. They still got to deal with the Warriors on some level, but maybe contenders in a way that, at least I'm of the opinion that when the Lakers, when the Knicks, when the Bulls, when these teams are good, it's much better for the league than when they're not. So I'm all for
it. I agree. There are a lot more bandwagon fans nowadays than there were 20, 25 years ago, and the impacts of social media. So you see everybody but even then, the only time mass media had seen Gordon Hayward play a full basketball game was because he happened to be playing against Kobe Bryant in his last game on national TV. That's still very real. So, it's interesting. But now the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, because of this LeBron move, as from Bill from New Jersey, the East. The East doesn't have much now. They have the Sixers, who are exciting. They have the Celtics, who are exciting, but neither of whom would even be contenders. What's going on, man?
Hey, Buster, Zach, thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, thanks for being on.
I was wondering what your thoughts were about the NBA ever considering to dissolve the, Western, Eastern conferences and just have the top 16 teams or whatever they decide make the playoffs. And this way there's no Western Conference Finals actually being better than the NBA championship.
Fair enough. What I'd say is if this continues on at the rate that it's continuing for the next 5 years, then maybe we have that conversation. But I think it's a tad too early to have it because 3 big trades next offseason, Kevin Durant could go to the Knicks. Everyone could go anywhere. Then this whole conversation completely changes. So to make a move on that couldn't be reversible, I think now is ridiculous. But if it's like this in 10 years.
Here's what I'll say. Let's do it. Like, why? Because of tradition? Like, we're just going to be like, oh, it might go back. It's not going to go back. The East sucks, and the West is really good, and the West is always really good, and the East always sucks. Like, we've been doing this for a long time. I remember, 2002, the NBA championship was Kings-Lakers. It wasn't, Lakers-Nets. Like, no one, everyone knew what it was at that point. It was Kings-Lakers. Like, it's been this way for a while. Occasionally, you get an East team that's great, right? Like Miami with LeBron. Like, those are champions and all that. But in the Cavs in their fluky championship, ended up making it not look so bad. But usually the East sucks, and I just want the best playoffs possible. And I'm coming around to the fact that probably the best playoff situation, and we may still get weird seeding with the 1 through 16 where it doesn't add up this way. But I think more often than not, you're going to get the best championship series if we go 1 through 16. And we're not doing it because of tradition or geography or whatever. Throw all that out the window. Let's do 1 through 16.
I'm totally down with mixing up the playoffs, but as far as the regular season goes, I want, based on the way the schedule goes, I like the fact that Western Conference teams play at the Eastern Conference teams' arenas once a year. I love that. I think that should stay the way it is. But as far as playoffs are concerned, I'm with you. I'd like to see it mixed up a little bit more. I want the best teams to go further always. If a Toronto Raptors team heading into this year makes it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, but a Lakers team led by LeBron James is making it to the semis and just like obviously there's something wrong there.
Yeah, there's something wrong there. I still think that at least can we agree we get rid of divisions? There is nothing sadder than a division banner hanging in the Raptors, right? Like that shows your organization. If you have a single banner like 2004, like Northwest Division champions, you are not a real NBA team. You're just not. Like those should never be like one. That's fine, but if you are proudly displaying that, you're not a real team.
I don't think anyone does anymore. I think they've got like the old ones from when it was a big deal.
Right.
I don't think fans are going out and posting on social media we won the division. I might be wrong.
Every once in a while, I don't know. There's nothing sadder though than like if you have a division champion hat, like you got a problem. You have a real fandom problem.
They do hand those out to the players.
They do, and they never see the player's hat after that moment.
Never.
They never see it again.
And you'll never see those Eastern Conference champion 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers hats or shirts ever again either.
No, you never will. I'm not even sure LeBron knows where his is. Like I guarantee it didn't leave that arena with him.
I agree with you though. If they're making the fake newspapers, divisional champions, they're passing those out and the fans are going crazy. It seems a little bit foolish. Yeah.
Right, you shocked the world with an Atlantic Division championship. Although if the Knicks won, no offense to your Knicks, if the Knicks won the Atlantic this year, you would have to celebrate that in some way.
When Kristaps won the skills challenge, we were about to hang with him. That's literally the best thing that's happened to the Knicks in like the last half decade. So we were pretty close to celebrating that as a
that's fair. Hey, Karl-Anthony Towns won the skills challenge. I was really happy. It was the most happy I've been in probably 10 years.
Well, that's that. I mean, great, but you have a lot more to root for than I do. So
that's true.
I think we have Will ready to come on with a question.
Sure.
We got Will coming in on the fan line, the fan cred fan line. Waiting on Will. And then Paul George, man. I thought he was going to the Lakers. What's going on, man?
I thought he was going to the Lakers too. What's up, Will?
I have two questions. Can you see Kawhi getting traded at the trade deadline this year, even before next offseason? And also, who are some names we're not talking about that are making some buzz in free agency? I heard about Tyreek Evans earlier. Who else is there?
I'll let you up on this one.
Yeah, Julius Randle was probably the biggest signing today in terms of him going to New Orleans. That was a big one. Tyreek Evans probably the next biggest free agent out there, just because he seems to be an impact guy that teams are exploring. But outside of that, I think it's going to be a lot of small moves like Seth Curry to Portland, like those little moves here and there, Rajon Rondo to the Lakers. And then outside of that, like with the Kawhi thing, I think Kawhi is more likely to be traded this summer than he is at the deadline. I don't know if the Spurs will believe that if they make it all the way to the deadline with him, I don't think they believe that they're going to get fair value. So they will just roll with the idea of our $200 million contract is going to trump whatever anyone else is going to offer.
Will he actually sit do you think?
No, he's not going to sit. He doesn't have the injury anymore. He will be fine by the time training camp's on. He's not going to sit if there's no injury. Now, if he gets injured again, yeah, maybe he will, but he starts losing money. He doesn't get paid if he holds out. So that's not going to happen.
My friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kawhi wants his money now. He doesn't want to step back in.
He's not giving up $18 million.
He doesn't want to step back into the Spurs locker room. We now know that.
Right.
But Kawhi, if he has to, will suck it up and play. And he will be fantastic because he's debatably top two-way players in the NBA.
Hey, can we dispel with this whole thing of people who are saying like, well, he was injured last year. We don't know how he's going to come back from the injury. He's a top 5 player in the league. We know how he's going to come back from the injury. Yep. He's going to be the best defender in the league, and he's going to be one of the best offensive players in the league. And that's just that injury wasn't a blown Achilles. It was a serious injury, but he's going to be fine. Youngest
finals MVP in NBA history. How quickly people forget. Defensive play. I mean, this guy is, in my opinion, the second best two-way player in the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he is the best defender. Like, no offense to Draymond Green, no offense to Rudy Gobert. Like, Kawhi, when he is on the court, people are afraid. Like, he literally grabs the ball from other players' hands. Like, he will just rip it out of their hands. There was a play 2 years ago against Ben McLemore when he was on the Kings. There were 2 straight possessions. He just took the ball out of his hands, not like picked a dribble. He just ripped it from. Like, this is a grown man ripping the ball from another grown man, and there was nothing Ben McLemore could do about it. Like, Kawhi is that good.
He is that good. On to another signing, one that I was a little bit surprised on, but I guess in retrospect, now we understand his loyalty. But Paul George, I thought he was going to go to the Lakers. I thought it was his childhood dream. And, he wouldn't stay in the small market of OKC, which respectfully, in my opinion, probably shouldn't even have an NBA team. When there's cities like St. Louis and, you got Pittsburgh, Seattle that don't have teams, but OKC has one. They've got a lot of bandwagons, but that's besides the point. Paul George re-signing in OKC. What'd you make of that?
It was surprising because I think a year ago, everything that I had heard, everything others reporters had heard and journalists was basically it's going to take them challenging the Warriors or beating the Warriors for him to re-sign in Oklahoma City. And it was a lot of that same sentiment leading up into the trade deadline. And then as the second half of the season went on, you started hearing whispers of, Paul George may actually want to just stay there. And he may re-up. And everyone, I think, thought that if he re-upped, it'd be kind of I'll take a 1 year at the max money and have a player option for the year after that. And I'll just kind of see where this franchise is, see where Russ's head is at, and I'll kind of feel this out. No, he went 4 years, 3 years in an option, but he went 4-year deal to stay there. And it's not just that he's signing there. It's that they've committed so much money. Now they can stretch Carmelo Anthony and get some of that money off the books, but they're looking at the biggest payroll with the biggest tax penalty in league history. This is the Thunder who wouldn't pay, an extra $8 million to keep James Harden around. They traded him to Houston. Like the whole part of this is, yeah, right. Yeah, that didn't quite work out. This whole thing, just from his perspective, from their process, like this is a surprise on a lot of levels. So yeah, it was shocking that 1, he didn't even meet with the Lakers, and 2, that he re-upped in a way that is such a commitment for him and such a financial commitment for them.
It really is. I mean, obviously they committed long-term Russell Westbrook and they brought in Carmelo on this deal, which will eventually, and good for them, be over. But now they've just committed to this core. That's what they did. They committed to this core. If Paul George had gone, they could have let the Melo money flow out, let the Melo contract flow out, and then make a move off of Westbrook and then start all over. But no, they believe in it. And, they weren't contending OKC or contending Golden State, rather, to the extent that they wish, but they're interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting. This is another interesting thing, though, is that they believe they're much better than they are, which I think you have to. But at the same time, they got worked by the Jazz in that playoff series. Like, they got worked. They were never going to beat the Jazz based on how those two teams played and how they executed against each other. And they were kind of lucky to get to 6 games, let alone not lose in 5. They had that crazy comeback in Game 5 in the second half to extend the series one more game. If you look at the two teams now, I think the Jazz are a lot better than the Thunder, even though the Thunder have the stars. So they're really locking in on something and hoping that either the absence of Melo in the near future or just another year of continuity means they're real contenders. And it may be a miscalculation on their part. Now, and maybe they just have to keep the stars and spend the money, but I don't know that they're that close to being anything that relevant outside of a first or maybe second round team.
I agree, especially with the Western Conference continuing to stack and compound on itself.
Right.
I think we have Motez ready on the fan line. Hopefully I pronounced that right. But
my guy.
on the fan credit fan line.
Yo. So we all know LeBron went to Hollywood to kind of do the movie thing. So don't all these signings seem like he's casting people for a movie rather than building a team?
This is the interesting thing about this is that LeBron is picking up all these people he doesn't like, right? Like Lance, I don't know that he loves JaVale. Like maybe he just doesn't care, but Lance, JaVale, Rondo.
JaVale blocked on Instagram.
Understandable. It was a lot of like cinnamon challenge stuff and, jug life and all that stuff. It is possible he's just forming a rotation where he can bench these guys. And he's like, this is my revenge against you guys. None of you get to play. This is my team. You get to watch me play from the bench. And maybe that's the case. Or maybe he's just like feeling charitable and he wants to have these guys have a redemption story. But yeah, it does feel like he's setting up kind of this evil team of for a second unit, at least for when they scrimmage.
Makes sense. I mean, just thinking about the cast of characters surrounding the LA Lakers now. You've got LeVar Ball. You've now got LeBron James. You've obviously
I forgot about LeVar.
Now you've got Lance Stevenson and JaVale McGee and Magic Johnson up top and Kobe Bryant coming in from the outside. Like it's literally a movie. I mean, there are no bigger names in the basketball space as far as attention is concerned, as far as publicity, than LeVar Ball, Kobe, Lonzo, LeBron.
Yeah, and I mean, it is just like angst, right? It's a lot of tension. It's going to be a lot of subtweets, a lot of random TMZ interviews that get out of control. I mean, there's a lot going on here, and we don't even know what the rest of the roster is going to look like. Maybe he brings Kevin Garnett out of retirement. Maybe he brings, Rasheed Wallace or Ben Wallace out of retirement. Like, there could be a whole nother level to where LeBron is bringing in people from his family. Chris Bosh could come out. Like, who knows? Who knows what LeBron's going to do next?
Fair enough. I'm looking forward to it. I saw the cheapest ticket as of right now for the Lakers home opener is $500, which is more expensive than the NBA Finals. That's
not a great arena either. Like, it's relatively new. It's like 18 years old, 19 years old, something like that. But you go there, that's not a $500 minimum ticket arena. It's not that good.
I'm legitimately curious how much they made as of right now off of LeBron James' move, because it's already must be millions.
Oh, I mean, the jerseys alone, I think I saw it was like a 600% increase from when LeBron went back to Cleveland. Now, granted, there were some people who already had Cleveland jerseys, but in terms of the jerseys being sold, like, it has blown that out of the water for new jersey sales.
And the Lakers, if you look at their website, haven't even announced it yet.
No, they can't. I mean, I think they have to wait till the 6th. And so it's like, I wonder how many Lakers fans, like, there are not a lot of people there are a lot of fans who aren't on Twitter, right? Like, there are people who may not even know this has happened yet, are going to rush to this website, rush to their season ticket agent and try to get something. I was actually, when I found out the news, I was in a bar with a guy who had just given up his season tickets 3 weeks ago. And he was he couldn't get service in that bar. He was devastated. He was so upset. He was like, "You got to be kidding me. Like, this isn't real. Like, you're messing with us." And sad to say, I don't know if he got his renewal reversed. That's a bad decision.
On the flip side of that, though, in Cleveland, I don't know if you heard about their season ticket holders. They made them lock into a 3-year deal to maintain their courtside seats. So they took the L on that. So better what happened to your friend than what happened to these four.
Right. I'm shocked that Dan Gilbert would be nefarious in that way. Dan Gilbert's such a good guy, such a lovely person. I'm shocked that he would do this. Also, Dan Gilbert has me blocked on Twitter, by the way.
Does he really?
Yeah, I said some mean stuff during the lockout a long time ago that I wasn't very happy with him.
Gotcha. All right. I think we have Robbie ready backstage on the fan line. No, but that is a true story about JaVale McGee. He actually posted on Instagram, "Yo, LeBron, why am I still blocked? It's been like this for 2 years." Yo.
Hey, so you started to touch on this earlier, but I want to go into more detail about it. How in the world is LeVar Ball going to be able to manage to live in the city as LeBron James, let alone his kid be on the same team as LeBron?
Yeah, so in my opinion, he's just going to go silent. He got his way. The Lakers will control him to the point that they did over the last second half of this past season, and he'll be pretty quiet. He got his way. When he started getting his way before, that's when he got quiet.
Is his way having his kid overshadowed by all this other stuff? Because it doesn't seem that way.
Well, here's what I think is going to happen is I think he's going to try to get LiAngelo Ball onto LeBron Jr.'s AAU team to get LiAngelo some more shine. Like, I don't think this is about Lonzo anymore. I think he's going to start trying to get his other kids to get in the spotlight of LeBron's kid, and we're going to try to find some kind of super family in some way.
Didn't they even say LiAngelo's not even invited to our G League tryouts or something like that?
Yeah, neither am I. Like, both of us are not NBA players or G League players. Like, LiAngelo's terrible. Like, I'm not trying to be mean about it. He's not an NBA player in any way. It's crazy he got pre-draft workouts.
Well, obviously he got it because of his brother, though. That was just, and that happens often. We see that all the time. But yeah, he's not going to be around for long. Although, if I were a G League owner, I would give him a spot instantaneously. I'll just put him on the bench, and ticket sales, jersey sales, it'll all go up. Then drop him.
Yo, if you are a fan buying G League tickets because LiAngelo Ball is on a roster, you've got some issues.
In Lithuania, every single game was sold out.
That's Lithuania. They're just hoping to see anything cool over there, except for every 4 years in the Olympics. They're great, and then after that, they're just like, please, someone do something.
That's a fair point, but there are cities in the United States that have terrible basketball. G League, like, I'm not going to name drop anybody because I don't want to do that. I already name dropped OKC earlier.
That's fine. I'll say it. Sioux Falls. How many people know Sioux Falls has a G League team? Or I didn't even know if they still do. I think it was the Sioux Falls Skyforce. I could be wrong about that.
Reno, wherever. Point is, if one of these cities got LiAngelo Ball, I probably would show up one day.
Okay. That's fair.
That's my point. All right. I think we have Cam on the fan line. Bringing Cam in. See what he's got for us. What's going on?
Hey, guys. So I know this has been touched on already, but are we entirely sure, A, that, say, Zach Harper or Worldwide Wob is not Rob Pelinka just because of the content that's being created by this Lakers team? I mean, this is like I understand that some of these guys are actual players, but I mean, except for KCP, is there anybody that was signed after LeBron has that doesn't look like it's been a play to become the real basketball players of Los Angeles County? I mean, seriously, we're exactly a one big man signing. You could pick the big man too. I mean, it's either Boogie Cousins or Dwight Howard, right? Either one of these guys.
If they bring Dwight back, that's too far.
Content, the best content ever. This is like casting Johnny Depp in a movie, then immediately saying, "Who's that crazy woman that he's in that divorce with?" Amber Heard. All right, let's get her, and then let's throw in Jim Carrey because everybody loves Jim Carrey. And then let's also get, I don't know, what's John Cusack doing? Let's throw John Cusack in this movie too. He's not that good anymore, but he's still John Cusack. I mean, what is going on? I mean, how is this team actually going to be competitive in the Western Conference except for, say, give the ball to LeBron and get the hell out of the way?
Sometimes that's enough, right? Like, sometimes just give the ball to LeBron, get out of the way is enough. Like, it got the Cavs through the playoffs this year. It can work. In terms of what they're putting together, I still think, I don't believe LeBron was going to the Lakers unless they knew they had another big-time player coming. And I think that's coming in a trade, and whether that's Kawhi or someone else, I think that's been the plan. It's a lot like the Kevin Love situation, right? When LeBron signed back in Cleveland, he knew Kevin Love was coming in a trade, even though that was a month and a half away from happening. This is just something where these things happen behind the scenes long before free agency starts. I think we're still going to get that big transaction. But I'm with you. It's weird. I can say this. I've been in a room with Rob Pelinka before, so it's not me. But I've never seen Wob and Rob Pelinka in the same room before. So I cannot confirm or deny that they are the same person.
Who's the over-under on who that trade if it's not Kawhi? Who's another player who that could be that's not Kawhi that maybe actually might move the meter enough to have gotten LeBron to be comfortable when he met for 3 hours apparently with Magic?
It's probably, if it's not Kawhi, it's not going to be Anthony Davis, even though Anthony Davis' clock is starting to tick. It may be Jimmy Butler, right? We know that he and Cat don't really get along. Now Jimmy has Tom Thibodeau on his side. They're trying to give him a 4-year extension to keep him there long term. It's not a guarantee that he's going to stay there and take the money. Maybe that's the next disgruntled star. Now, is that enough to make them competitive and challenge the Rockets, challenge the Warriors? No. But you start getting the first star, then you get the second star, then you get the third star. There's a trickle-down effect. So I think that it's probably Kawhi. If not, we really have to start mining for that next guy. Maybe it's Damian Lillard. Maybe Damian Lillard's not all that happy in Portland. Like there are a lot of guys where you hear some light whispers that will rumble more as the season goes on.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if they don't get it done, then they don't win.
Right.
That Magic Johnson did say it was a 2-year plan. He said that before the LeBron James signing, but now LeBron James is here. The pressure is on. The pressure is on Magic Johnson. The pressure is on the city of Los Angeles. The pressure is on JaVale McGee and LeVar Ball. Everyone top to bottom, the pressure is now on. And if they don't get it done, they don't win.
Here's my question to you. When Magic said the other day, if I don't bring anyone in the next 2 years, I'll step down. This is on me. Did he already know LeBron was signing?
He already knew. Of course
I think he already knew.
So LeBron, from what I heard, LeBron and Magic Johnson had a 3-hour meeting on Saturday. So Saturday night, they had a 3-hour meeting. The decision hadn't been made, and LeBron didn't even make that decision in the meeting. But they talked, legacy, Lakers legacy, impact, parallels to Michael Jordan. I mean, this is just, what the, let's say, rumblings from what they were talking about were, and what one would assume that the pitch from the LA Lakers, from people close to Magic, would believe.
Right.
So, and I've heard as well that Magic really doesn't like Jordan. So
they're like friends, right? Like they're acquaintances. I don't think these guys are taking a bullet for each other.
Right. They're not crying on documentaries like they are, with Bird and whatnot, but like Magic is with Bird, that is. But I think it's interesting as far as the debate on whether Magic Johnson really wanted to bring LeBron to LA to solidify his legacy to become greater than Michael because of his feud with Michael.
Right.
I think that's interesting. That interests me. And maybe that was what he talked about in the meeting.
Here's what I love. I love the idea of like Magic presenting this whole Michael Jordan aspect, right, to LeBron, like here's the legacy, here's what you can do, and then talking about like different stages of Michael's career, and then just all of a sudden Kobe Bryant busts in the door out of nowhere and just starts playing Michael Jordan Wizards highlights, right? Like not even the good stuff, just playing the Wizards highlights. And he just points to LeBron and goes, "This is what you're going to be for the Lakers," and just tries to submarine the whole thing because he wants to be the last king of LA. It's
tough. I can't say for certain that if I were Kobe Bryant right now, I'd be pumped with this. I can't.
No, I mean it's a high risk, high reward situation for his legacy, right? Like it's not that Lakers fans are going to replace LeBron or replace Kobe with LeBron, right? Like Kobe is either the first or second best Laker of all time, depending on how you want to judge him versus Magic. Some people will throw Kareem in there, but it's really like those two. If LeBron comes in and wins them a championship in the next 3 years, it doesn't replace what Kobe's done, but now Kobe's not the last championship they had. That will matter to someone like Kobe.
I agree. And Kobe just went out. Every single piece of Kobe Bryant's career, apart from the off-the-court stuff, was perfect.
Yeah.
Just perfect. His exit, 60 points after a terrible season he had. Just
so bad.
Destroyed with injuries and sellout games and disappointed. To go out with 60 points. To have the championships. To be with Shaq. To have Shaq go because he didn't want Shaq. Then to win more. Just perfect. And then if LeBron comes in and just wins a title like that.
Maybe it's not that hard. Maybe it's not as hard as Kobe made it look, right? That becomes the next question.
Right. So some of the other names that are obviously the showstoppers, not as much a second tier. Chris Paul re-signing with the Houston Rockets. Kevin Durant re-signing with the Golden State Warriors. One question that I want to ask you about, though, and this is as a New York Knicks fan, something I'm super interested in. Sure. What's coming. Whether Kevin Durant could actually realistically end up on the New York Knicks next offseason. The reports are that the Knicks are trying to structure their team around the potential that this could happen next offseason. But what do you think?
I don't think the Warriors are breaking up next offseason, but I think by 2020, at that time, I really think that there will be real decisions for Draymond, for Clay, obviously next year, for Kevin Durant, for Steph in some ways. There's going to be a point where it no longer works or no longer works to the degree, and do you want to try to go somewhere else? And if Kristaps is killing it at that point, and they've got enough young talent, they've got enough veterans, and they look like a real NBA team again, then yeah, like I think Kevin Durant, the smart thing for him to do would be win a couple more titles with the Warriors and then go east where, like we just said, it's weaker, right? Go east and find that next team there to kind of keep this flow of NBA Finals appearances happening, and whether that's Boston or New York or Milwaukee or Philly or wherever, yeah, I think it makes sense for him to find his way back east in the next part of his career. I just don't think that that's next summer.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Durant has been known to take the easy route, and the next easy route would be going to the Eastern Conference. So, Hey, if I were Katie, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
I'm surprised LeBron left the East. I really am. Like, I get why he did it, but I'm surprised. Like, that's punching your ticket every single year. He could have easily gone to Philadelphia, and he'd be in the next 4 finals if he wanted to be.
It's true. Just imagine that. 12 straight NBA finals. Even if he loses all of them, which he probably would.
Right. I don't know. That Philly team could be interesting, but especially with him. But that is something where, man, yeah, like I get it. If he's 3-9 in NBA Finals in his career, like that's not great, obviously. But if he made 12 of them, that's absurd. Like that alone, like whether he won half of them or not, like that is an absurd accomplishment that'll never be replicated.
But then again, even if LeBron goes to the Lakers, they form this amazing team, but they don't make it, yet his team was better, the real NBA fans and the real NBA analysts will be aware of that. Like many are aware of the fact that Michael Jordan, although he gets commended every single time in the Jordan-LeBron debates for being 6-0 in the NBA Finals, but at the same time, there were a lot of years where he wasn't good enough to make it.
And he quit. He quit a couple of times. At least you can say that about LeBron. LeBron hasn't quit yet.
LeBron has definitely not quit. Now he's gone to Miami and he's gone to LA. He hasn't quit.
You're right.
And he went to Miami and won a couple. So that was the proving himself part. It was I remember, and I was young at the time, but when he first went to Miami and this just the debate around whether LeBron could win one. It was just so passive. And then he lost with Miami against Dallas. And people were just, he's never going to win a title. It's crazy.
The debate would also, like, not just would he win one, it was, would you rather start your franchise with LeBron or Dwight Howard? That's where we were. Now, granted, Dwight Howard was a lot better then. He didn't have the back issues and all that. He was a legit franchise building block. But that was the debate. It was, should the Miami Heat have gone after Dwight Howard instead of LeBron James? Now think about that, 8 years later. Like, that's absurd. But that was the debate. That's how far we've come with LeBron.
Question from the comments. How much does losing the ability to package Julius Randle in a sign-and-trade hurt the Lakers' chances at getting Kawhi Leonard?
I don't think it affects it. Sign-and-trades are pretty difficult to facilitate now, especially on restricted free agency. Like, I mean, we've seen a couple of teams in the past. I think when Roy Hibbert had his offer sheet matched, DeAndre Jordan had his offer sheet matched, when Brook Lopez had an offer sheet matched, like we had certain situations where teams were trying to find a way to facilitate that into a sign-and trade instead of just matching the offer sheet. And it's so difficult with restricted free agency that I don't think that hinders it. I think that was always going to be about, do they want Brandon Ingram? Do they push for Kyle Kuzma? Do they want to entertain the whole LeVar Ball, Lonzo Ball thing? Like, I think that's more what it's about than could they get Julius Randle.
It's so crazy that LeVar Ball, hate him or love him, he talked his way into Lonzo Ball getting drafted number 2 by the Lakers. He talked his way to LeBron James coming to the Lakers. It's crazy.
The only thing he hasn't talked his way into is LiAngelo Mattering. But, LaMelo might actually be good. Like that, we might be doing this again in a couple of years.
I can guarantee you we will at least be having the conversation. LaMelo looks good. He's like 6'6" now, which is crazy. Yeah.
He's got a weird shooting stroke, but it kind of goes in, right? Like, I mean, he's 6'6". He's becoming pretty athletic. He's getting stronger. Like, he might actually be able to play.
How does it work though with him having dropped out of high school? I don't. What are the restrictions on that? 18?
You just have to be. Yeah, you have to be 19 during your rookie year, and so he'll essentially be treated like an international prospect, like Luka Doncic or whomever. And so it'll just be when he will be. Maybe he'll be representing Lithuania. Like I'm sure LeVar is going to want him to try to get on Team USA at some point, but he may become a Lithuania citizen and be the next great point guard of Lithuania.
He goes wherever LeVar Ball tells him to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Wherever dad tells you to go, that's what happens.
All right. Final question. What has been your personal favorite free agent signing so far and why? I'll take it afterwards.
Oh, my favorite one. Can I tell you my least favorite one?
Go for it.
Can I do that instead? Derrick Rose. I'm a Timberwolves guy. Derrick Rose, I get he had a couple of moments in the playoffs that really weren't meaningful at all. Like there was nothing there. But here's why I have a problem with it. One, they have a better backup point guard on the roster with Tyus Jones. And two, this seems like just a situation where Tom Thibodeau is doing his friend Derrick Rose a solid. Because if Derrick Rose is on an NBA roster, he gets $14.5 million from Adidas. His shoe contract, Nick DiPaolo of ESPN and of Nice Kicks, he had basically the breakdown of Derrick Rose's shoe contract. And it's insane. Like he gets $14.5 million just every year just being on an NBA roster. It feels like Tom Thibodeau was just like, all right, I'll get you your money. And he'll play him and he's going to believe in him and that he can come back. And he was an MVP for me and all this stuff. He's not a good NBA player anymore. They need shooting, they need wings, and they need guys who play defense. He's not any of those things. So that's my least favorite signing. And I just think it's a little too parochial with Tom Thibodeau and what he's installed in Minnesota. I think he's done some good things, but there are a lot of fans that are upset with him for a lot of reasons. This Derrick Rose thing is a big part of that.
Yeah, I mean, I have no attachment to the Chicago Bulls when Derrick Rose was his MVP self, his prime self. I have no attachment to the Minnesota Timberwolves, yet I am mad at Tom Thibodeau for overplaying his players.
We have breaking news. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, DeMarcus Cousins is signing with the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, my God.
On a 1-year, $5.3 million deal.
Oh, my God.
What?
Oh, my God.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous, man. I don't even know what to say.
I mean, so, all right, let's break this down real quick. Cousins probably won't be back till February, right? He blew out his Achilles in January, late January. It's about a year to come back.
It's such a disappointment, though.
So he comes back for essentially a playoff run with the Warriors. He gets to work his way back. He gets a ring. I guess he's their new Zaza Pachulia, right? Like, is that the meanest thing I've ever said about someone? I don't know. Like, it's
ridiculous.
This is crazy. Does this make you angrier than Kevin Durant?
What?
Does this make you angrier than Kevin Durant signing with them 2 years ago?
In a weird way.
It's kind of similar, right? This is nuts. This is the craziest deal of the offseason. Not LeBron going to the Lakers. This is the craziest deal.
Yeah, I mean, I literally am speechless. This is absurd. He signed the amount of money that he's leaving on the table because of this. Yeah,
I mean, and who knows? Like, maybe New Orleans didn't want to commit to him long term, and because of that, he didn't want to commit to them on a shorter deal for big money. The Lakers obviously kind of ran out of money once they started going after Rondo and re-signed KCP and all these guys. And it is a situation where DeMarcus Cousins is working his way back from a serious injury. And it is going to take him a long time. Like, he won't be back until February. He probably won't be good until April or May. But now you have DeMarcus Cousins playing the 5 on this team in the playoffs. Like, that's stacking the deck, right?
I don't even care. It's the exact same thing as Kevin Durant. DeMarcus Cousins was loyal, ridiculously loyal to the Sacramento Kings, another city that probably shouldn't have a team. Similar to how Kevin Durant was loyal to the Oklahoma City Thunder, Seattle Supersonics. He was traded to New Orleans. He said he loved New Orleans, but he didn't love New Orleans. And now he goes out. And he's a Golden State Warrior. It's ridiculous.
And, 1 year, $5 million. Like, I get it on some level. If you're going to work your way back, like, do it this way. But, man, this seems cheap, right? Like, this seems like I didn't really have that big of a problem with the Kevin Durant signing. I kind of have a problem with this. And I like DeMarcus Cousins. I named my dog Boogie after DeMarcus Cousins. Like, I'm not an anti-DeMarcus guy, but this feels – it's like such a cheap signing in so many ways.
Oh my God. I feel like it's fake, but I'm starting to realize that it's not. I saw the Woj tweet. I posted 5 times about it already. Come on.
This is man. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless too. I wonder at what point he's back and really able to play for them.
It's more the idea than anything else. And now the photo that's coming up on my feed is when KD and Boogie got in the fight last year.
Yes.
Wow. Bob Myers, goddamn, you just don't care.
He doesn't. Like, he had that comment to Ethan Strauss of The Athletic where he was like, it's not my job to make this entertaining for anyone else. It's my job to win and to do that however I see fit. And to his credit, like, he's doing that. He's stacking the deck.
I'm getting a FaceTime right now. Elliot, I'm live on the FanCred app, but what are your thoughts?
What the fuck just can I swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
Oh, yeah? Okay, cool.
DeMarcus Cousins signed with the Warriors for $5 million.
It's probably the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened.
How has Adam Silver not vetoed this? How did
You can't veto a free agent signing.
No.
You should be able to, though. In this instance, you should be able to.
If I have this correct, tell me, did they just get 3 times better than last year? They let go of McGee
Yep.
and signed DeMarcus Cousins for like the same price.
That's exactly what they did. $5 million, 1-year deal. So the death lineup is now Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, DeMarcus Cousins, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala. That team would.
This can't be real, man.
No, you forgot Kevin Durant. You forgot Kevin Durant. That's how crazy this is.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What happened?
I literally just said the
You
lineup.
forgot the Finals MVP.
Yeah. It's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant, and Boogie. It's an all-star team.
No, he just forgot Draymond Green.
You forgot Draymond Green.
Get Andre Iguodala out of there. He doesn't matter anymore. The death lineup is their lineup.
This is ridiculous.
All right, I gotta hang up. I gotta post.
All right, man. Peace. Oh my god.
This is man. This feels like you. This really feels like NBA 2K. Like you did something. You used some kind of cheat code in an off season in my GM mode.
It doesn't feel like real life. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, once he's back, it is kind of interesting. Like they want to play more free flowing, right? Like the offense is it's pace and space and a lot of free flowing. Yeah, he can stretch the floor a little bit, but when it gets down to like those critical NBA Finals moments where things do slog down and they slow a lot, Cousins is kind of perfect for them in that he can just go be a bully, right? Like if he gets healthy by May and June, he can just like it's not that they're going to run their offense through him, but like things aren't going well in the offense, and you've kind of outmatched a team at 4 different positions. Now you just throw the ball into Boogie and you let him go to work, and you have 3 of the best shooters of all time surrounding him. Like that, from a basketball standpoint, it's crazy. From a financial standpoint, it's crazy. From a player or roster construction standpoint, it's crazy. Like this is nuts.
The video that's surfacing now is a throwback to when he was with the Kings and he yelled F Golden State into the camera.
He said a lot of things.
He said a lot of things, man. This is wow. I don't
I got my friend Trey saying I'm sitting this season out. Like this is
Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I'm gonna go live on Hoops Nation. I'll leave this on. Just got it. This is just something that has to be done. What's going on, everybody? Welcome in. We're live on FanCred. We're live here on the Nation now. This is probably the most. I'm not depressed because I'm still just in so much shock. I'm not depressed yet because I'm just in shock. Everyone in the comment sections now saying this is bullcrap. It is to a certain extent. This should.
It is. I didn't have a problem with the Kevin Durant sign. Like I got it on some level. I didn't really have a problem. For some reason, I have a problem with this DeMarcus Cousins 1 year, $5 million.
I had a huge problem with the Kevin Durant signing, and the amount of anger I feel towards the NBA right now, and just the fact that this can become a thing, and that DeMarcus Cousins is thinking in New Orleans. He's thinking right now. He's like, huh. So they just won a title. They've been in the finals. They've been competing for the last 3-4 years. They've already got everyone they need. You know, regardless of who goes where, the Golden State Warriors are still going to win. Let me leave $15 million on the table, or more. Let me leave $15+ million on the table, and let me go to the Golden State Warriors and not help out in any way. I mean, he'll get his points, whatever. But I mean,
I really don't think he'll be back till after the All-Star break or around the All-Star break. But even then, like, the Warriors don't need him until – well, they don't need him at all. That's the thing. They don't need him at all. But they really don't need him to be good until, like, May, late May.
Very, very true. Now, the question becomes, are people going to stop watching the NBA because of this?
I mean, ratings were up last couple of years. You know? I mean, people like stars. People like star power. I don't think it's going to stop that. It may hurt the regular season. It may hurt the regular season ratings in a lot of ways. I think there will be a fascination with it when Cousins comes back in February, whenever that is. And right. I think you'll see a boost then. But once it gets there, the rest of the regular season, like, yeah, you may have some real issues with people, at least diehard fans, not wanting to watch it as much.
I wonder what LeBron James is thinking right now. Just imagine you're LeBron James. You just signed with the Lakers, to take down the Golden State Warriors. You're doing whatever you possibly can. It is what it is. And then you get the notification. I don't think he has Woj notifications on Twitter. But I don't think so, yeah. Let's say he does. And he gets that Woj notification. And LeBron James is sitting there thinking, I really just left the Eastern Conference to come play against a starting lineup, which is now. And I messed this up before. For those that aren't watching on FanCred right now, you can watch us both live. Go to fancred.com, download the app, and you can hop in on the chat with us right now if you go do that. But we were just going over the starting lineup. And it's now, and I said this, I left out Kevin Durant just because it's so ridiculous and I'm overwhelmed right now. But it's Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, DeMarcus Cousins, and Draymond Green. I'm sorry.
That's an all-star lineup, right?
Yeah.
Like that could legitimately be the starting lineup for an all-star game.
That's a really good starting lineup. Like a really good starting lineup for an all-star team, for an Olympic team. That team is winning the Olympics, guaranteed.
Yeah, we're just going to send the Warriors.
We should. They should represent the United States. Everyone's from the United States.
Yeah, except for Zaza, right? Like, I think Zaza is the only guy. I think they can handle no Zaza in the Olympics.
Zaza wasn't getting much time in the postseason anyways.
No, he's just a goon for them. He just goes out there and hurts people.
So for the 1,500 people watching this live stream right now, for everyone watching on FanCred, I don't know. I'm relatively speechless at this point. I wasn't speechless when the LeBron decision went down. I was super pumped up. I went live and I was like, yeah, let's get it. LA is going to be exciting, man. It's awesome. But at the same time, it brings me back to July 4th, 2016.
Yeah. This is he's getting half of Julius Randle's money. Julius Randle's making twice as much as DeMarcus Cousins.
That's crazy to think about. So Zach Harper, for those that don't know Zach Harper, you should all check him out on Twitter. But point is, he just pointed out that Julius Randle's making 2x. 2x the money. 2 times the money that DeMarcus Cousins, the all-star. The first probably all-NBA team year in and year out if he's healthy.
Yeah.
Right up
absolutely.
there. Sure.
Absolutely.
Everyone's commenting sellout. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I can see, I don't know how you justify this. Like, again, I think people have to remember that he's hurt, right? Like it's going to take him a long time to come back from that Achilles injury. We're talking like February, March, but yeah, it's still a sellout. Like it's not, they don't have him for all 82 games and playoffs. Like it's not the same in a lot of signings, but he comes back. What does he have to do? He doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be big. He doesn't even have to be in shape. Like they're going to play him 20 minutes a game. He's replaced JaVale McGee. He's replaced Zaza Pachulia. Like there isn't a lot of basketball sense to any of this other than he gets to win a ring right away. That's it.
It's crazy.
I guess he just bought a ring for like $18 million or whatever he left on the table, right? Like technically he did spend leave a lot of money.
He's getting paid $5 million to win a ring.
Same way Kobe Bryant bought an Academy Award, right? Or I'm sorry, he won one legitimately. But let's say he bought an Academy Award. It's the same thing.
Kobe Bryant did not buy an Academy Award. He with heart and grit
I saw that thing. That thing sucked. That animation sucked. The animation part was cool. The letter and the talking, that was terrible. There's no way that's an Academy Award.
It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hopping on the live. We're going to keep this one going, so head over to fancred.com as we continue to break this one down. My phone is exploding right now. That was funny, man. We had 15,000 people on that.
That's crazy. People just, and probably 15,000 mad people, right?
Yeah,
like just angry people.
Super pissed, but yeah, it went on Instagram top live too, so it was fun. But
yeah,
man, when you first said it too, we were about to sign off.
We were about to sign off, and I was reading these things on my phone. I was like, this has got to be a mistake. Like somehow I set up a text notification for the fake Shams. Right? For fake Woj. Like, I thought I had screwed something up. I'm trying to read these things and make sure there's a verified check mark and all that stuff. It's legit.
When you first said it, I was like, no. Like that. you're literally messing with me and we're going to cut it and it's going to be funny.
Right. Yeah. Oh, here's a prank I can play on Buster. Oh, yeah. DeMarcus Cousins to the Warriors.
Oh, my God. Adam Silver can't be happy.
No, I mean, this is something that this will become an issue amongst owners. Like, I guarantee you Adam Silver is getting hammered with calls and texts from owners right now saying, how do you allow this to happen? Well, and there's nothing wrong with, and from a financial standpoint, CBA standpoint, all this stuff, like DeMarcus Cousins giving up money to go sign with the Warriors. Like, there is nothing wrong or illegal about this from a logistical standpoint. It just kind of sucks, right?
It really, it doesn't even, like, I can't believe how much it sucks without just using ridiculous profanity.
Right, exactly.
The video that's coming up now is DeMarcus Cousins' throwback when he said, I'm the third Splash Brother, and then he drained it.
Yeah. Oh, man, this thing's been brewing for a long time. Let's get the conspiracy police on here. This thing has been in the works.
There's nothing to say. And the fact that we thought he could be heading to the Lakers, now in retrospect, just like...
It seems so dumb, right? Like all those thoughts, oh, maybe they'll sign DeMarcus Cousins. That'll be the next guy.
24 hours later, DeMarcus Cousins from LeBron James signing with the Lakers. Imagine if 48 hours ago, someone came up to you and was like, okay, so in 48 hours... there's going to be a new superstar on the Lakers and a new superstar on the Warriors.
I would have thought they traded for Kawhi or something. I don't know. I don't know what I would have thought. Like, if someone had told me yesterday, DeMarcus Cousins is going to sign with the Warriors tomorrow, I would have said, please don't ever talk to me again. Like this isn't. I don't need you to fill my head with these weird, fan fiction ideas about basketball and free agent signings. Also, like I would have been legitimately mad at that person for having such a dumb idea. And instead, here we are. This is reality.
Man. All right, let's bring someone in on the fan line to get another perspective on this, apart from just the comment sections. Do we have Okan? I hope I pronounced that right. Ready to come in on the fan line? On the Fan Cred fan line. Yo.
Am I in? I'm in.
Yes, you're very in.
What's up, bro? Well, here's my thoughts on the whole DeMarcus Cousins situation.
Yes.
Literally half an hour ago, before we even got the news about the trade, I was telling my brother, yo, what if DeMarcus Cousins goes to the Warriors? Like, literally. I was like, what if he takes, like, a pay cut just to win titles? Even though just last season he was just, cursing out the Warriors fan. It's just crazy. Like, it's like...
I'm blaming this on you then. You're the one that put this out there in the universe. Bro. You're the one that jinxed this into happening.
Don't shoot me. I'm sorry. Listen.
Hey, real quick, though. Can you tell your brother that you want Kevin Durant to go to the Knicks next offseason?
Can you tell your brother you want me to win the lottery?
Yo, Kevin Durant's going to the Knicks next offseason.
Of course.
Okay. I got you, Buster. Here's the crazy part. You got arguably the best center in the league, the second best small forward in the league, a top 5 shooting guard, a top 5 power forward, and the number 1 point guard in the league.
Yeah, it's
one team.
Great all-star starting lineup.
Like, now the real debate is, can they beat the 95-96 Bulls?
Yes.
Now, I think they can now.
I think they're going to sweep the 95-96 Bulls.
In a 7-game series, that's a sweep.
I think DeMarcus Cousins would floss with Luke Longley. Like, that's what I think would happen. I think he would use him as floss. Like, that's
Exactly.
yeah.
And to top it off, if they bring in some type of bench, like just one mediocre player, and then now they have 5 All-Stars. So when they do like a second, like when the second unit comes on, they could throw 3 All-Stars, keep them in the lineup still.
Absolutely. They can stagger it in any way. Like, they can do so many different lineup combinations and make it a crazy line. And here's the thing. If DeMarcus Cousins just gave up $15, $18, $20 million to go play in OKC, or not OKC, to play in Golden State, why is the next good play, like, why isn't Tyreek Evans going to go take the minimum to join him, right? Like, why isn't it, if you see that and you're like, well, screw this, I don't want to play against these guys, maybe I'll just go join them.
I can't even blame. No, I blame the Pelicans, to be honest with you, because they signed Julius Randle. That's just, like, a few hours ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That just proves, like, they didn't care about DeMarcus. They just let him walk, basically.
And apparently Anthony Davis recruited heavily on that too. So maybe he had something to do with
so maybe Anthony Davis might blow off out of here soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, clock's ticking, right?
The whole team needs to blow up.
What we knew is that DeMarcus Cousins wasn't getting a long-term deal with anyone. We knew that. He had to prove himself once again, coming off a relatively severe injury. He just had to come back and prove himself. That's what he's trying to do. He's not going to do the Golden State Warriors in a year and a half. No way.
No, he'll be gone because they can't offer him the money.
The cap space is just off the charts. You got to give a huge payday to Clay. You got Draymond as well. You got to give everyone a huge payday. No one's going to fit. No one's going to fit.
He's getting a ring. He's going to prove himself. Then he's going to sign a max deal somewhere.
And they're going to clear. Let's be honest. They're going to clear enough to go get Anthony Davis. That's what's going to happen next. Like, they're going to go get Anthony Davis in 3 years.
If you're like Paul George right now, though, who just re-signed thinking that they might have a shot. Paul George re-signed with OKC because he thought he had a shot. Now he's probably kicking himself because he wishes he were in LA enjoying life instead of trying to win it because now he's got no shot.
I hope that party in OKC was fun. I hope Russ threw a fun party because that's probably the last time he's going to be happy there.
Better have been.
You know what's one thing people haven't thought of? The Eastern Conference is completely wide open gate for the Celtics, just straight up.
Yeah, they're going to look good losing in 4 to the Warriors in June. Like, that's, I mean.
Exactly. They're going to go there. They're just like the Western Conference Finals is the real NBA Finals. And then the NBA Finals is just a playground game.
So you're a fan. Do you want to see them get rid of conferences and make it just 1 through 16?
My opinion, that would be a good idea. But then again, it's obvious that the Warriors are still going to win regardless.
Right. Yeah.
Let's be honest now. It's like, what's that going to do? You have to to fix the league, you have to completely realign everything and just start over. Just do another NBA draft with every player in the damn
Throw
league.
Everyone in. You just do a fantasy draft like in 2K,
exactly,
right?
like
just
2K.
Let's hit the reset button on this.
How chaotic that would be for a billion reasons.
I would actually
imagine how they choose who's the first overall pick. That would be crazy.
You have to bid for it. You have to buy the first pick. How exciting would that be?
Imagine that. And then let's use you for an example. Let's say the Knicks had the first overall pick. Who would they take? They wouldn't take, let's say they didn't want LeBron because he's aging. Or, maybe they'll go back with Porzingis. It'll be crazy.
Take AD. Yeah, if the Knicks had the number 1 overall pick right now and it was long term, it was like a lifetime deal, I'm taking AD right now.
AD.
Yeah.
That's smart.
They'd probably take Cantor. It's the Knicks. No offense. Right? They probably was like, yo, we really like Ennis. We're going to go with it.
Knowing the New York Knicks, they'd probably draft Carmelo Anthony.
Go up with Carmelo again. Let's try it again.
Yeah, that's tough. Oh,
man. And here's the thing, as a Sixers fan, we tanked so many years for basically nothing at this point.
You can still win the East.
Yeah, and then get swept by the Warriors.
Yeah, 100% get swept by the Warriors, but you at least win the East. Get those cool conference finals hats, get some merch there.
We lost so many bench players. It's crazy. We just lost Marco Bellinelli.
Ilyasova's gone.
Ilyasova, exactly. The team's just gone. Those 2 players were actually key contributors during the playoffs. And then you got Robert Covington.
Yeah, but you got to think too, though. And I'm a believer in him, so maybe I'm wrong on this, but Fultz will be a real player for them next year, right? They are game Markelle Fultz in a real capacity. He's good, and he'll be good. He's going to be.
Of course, that's what people are thinking. Just because, example, people thought Ben Simmons was going to be a bust. He was out the first year. This season he did great. You know, people are arguing he's not a rookie. I don't care. In my opinion, it's whatever.
I'll tell you this, though. My early pick for Rookie of the Year next year, Ben Simmons.
I think he's got a great chance. Like, he could be the first guy to go back-to-back.
Yeah, for Rookie of the Year back-to-back. All right,
Let me get a three-peat while you're at it.
Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you coming
popping in. All love, except for DeMarcus Cousins. No
except
love.
for DeMarcus Cousins. No man.
Zero love for DeMarcus Cousins.
This is weird. The league got I wanted chaos last year. This league got super weird.
It got really weird really quick, man.
Yeah, real weird real quick.
Really quick. Oh, he just looks so weird in a Warriors jersey. I'm seeing all the swaps now. Just weird, man. Weird.
And when he was on the Kings, like, granted, like, there's a lot of things to be angry about, but he legit hated the Warriors. I mean, he hates a lot of things, but it's kind of interesting to see him, at least from a personality standpoint, decide to, like, all right, I'll buy in for a year. I'll rehab there.
He just threw everything that he's ever thought and cared about out the window.
I'm good. I just want to go get a ring.
Oh my god!
Like this is the move you make in year 21 when you're Karl Malone, right? Like that's what this move is. Or Mitch Richmond at the end of his career goes sign with the Lakers to play with Shaq and Kobe and win a ring. Like that's what this is. Not when you're in your prime, injury or not. That's not what you do.
That's what this is dumb. Someone's got to do something about it. Throwback to Chris Paul almost being traded to the Lakers. Let's whatever that was, let's add a rule that allows it to be done to free agency.
Sure, yeah, just say, nah, I don't think so, guys. We're not going to do this.
Yeah, nah. Have owners vote on it. Just kidding.
Owners have to. That's a good idea.
LeBron James signs with LA. Every owner except for the Lakers says no. Yeah. Vetoed. Does it until he ends up back in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Woj can't like this. Woj gets the news and he's like, hell no, I'm not tweeting that.
No, there's no way. He had to have been like, this is you're messing with me here.
Like, hell no, I'm not tweeting that. All right, let's get Max in from the fan line. We have Max ready and waiting. Max, let's get you in, bro. No max contract for Billy. What's going on?
You remember me?
What's going on?
NBA Finals.
Oh, okay. Hell yeah.
Yep. All right. So I got like 2 minutes, maybe. I want to talk about DeMarcus Cousins.
It would be a shock if you wanted to talk about something else.
Yeah, you don't want to do this the Seth Curry signing in Portland? You're not in on that?
No, I don't give a shit.
Let's hear your take.
Fuck. I don't understand it. It's just, I think it's rigged right now. I don't know if to say rigged, but like, I just think something needs to be taken care of.
Something's definitely got to be taken care of. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's nothing preventing it. This is like Air Bud, where they're like, there's no rule that says a dog can't play basketball. There's no rule that says DeMarcus Cousins can't give up a lot of money.
It's just, I think it's, I mean, I have no words at this point. I've kind of basically cursed out DeMarcus Cousins, and that's all I can do.
That's the thing. That's all you can do at this point.
But besides that, I don't know. It's just like a crazy. Excuse me, I'm on the phone. I just think it's. I don't know, man. I have no words, but I think it's going to kind of the Lakers situation now. I think Rondo, the signing of Rondo, I think that's a great sign for the Lakers to add for a vet to coach Lonzo on passing and getting assists to really great players, because Rondo played with 3 Hall of Famers in Pierce, Shaq, and Garnett, and Lonzo's never played with a guy like that. So I think the experience from Rondo, I think that's a huge aspect that can add to Zoe's learning.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also think too, Rondo was kind of fading a couple of years that he played really well last year, right? Like he actually, it isn't just a name on the Lakers. Like if he plays like he played last season, granted it'll be tougher to do that with LeBron on the team, but if he does it in the second unit in some kind of similar capacity, like that's a really good pickup. It doesn't matter now because DeMarcus Cousins just went to the Warriors, but in theory, that was a fun pickup for 4 hours.
Are the Warriors winning more than 72 games?
No, because they're not going to lock in focus-wise. Like they already had focus issues before in terms of caring enough about the regular season. So they're not gonna do that. Plus, Cousins is he's gonna play like 20 games in the regular season. So yeah, but yeah, I mean are they gonna lose in the playoffs? Like that's the better question. Not are they gonna win 72 games? Like are they gonna go 16-0?
Yes.
That's probably a yes, right? Who's gonna mess with them?
Nobody. Unless James Harden goes off for 90.
And even then, like they probably won't.
Like, could the Warriors score 150 in a playoff game? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. They probably will. It'll probably be in the finals too. Like that's the thing. They probably do it in a finals game.
Ridiculous, man. I just hope LeBron doesn't have to play in the postseason. I hope the Lakers get knocked by like Houston. I don't want him to do it.
I actually kind of want to see. I disagree. I want to see LeBron out there in a series against them just to see the look on his face and how like just the way because he'll trash talk and be like, "This is weak. You guys are weak for doing this." Like he will have something for him. He'll dunk on DeMarcus Cousins. It won't matter because he'll be down 40, but he'll dunk on Cousins in a game and give a yell. Like I think we could get some good theater out of this. It just won't be a lot.
I'll tell you this though. Kevin Durant Kevin Durant's no longer the most hated player in the NBA.
Right? If anything, like he owes Cousins probably $10 million. He's got to split that contract.
Yeah. For real though. Like I'm not mad at Kevin Durant anymore.
Right.
He literally just switched off like that. I was mad at Kevin Durant at the start of the stream. I don't care about Kevin Durant anymore. Kevin Durant's my guy now.
Right.
I'm a Kevin Durant fan now.
Yeah, because now you're hoping this pushes him out where he's like, all right, well maybe this is too easy. I got to go east. I got to go to the Knicks.
I'm making that after we finish this. I'm making a YouTube video about that 1,000%. So man, he could just if they decided to stay together and just keep it going, they could all win 10 titles.
Yeah, easily. I mean, they become the Celtics in the 50s or the 60s whenever they won 8 straight, right? Like this is granted it was a 9-team league back then, but like what's to stop them? There's literally nothing that can stop them unless Giannis forces his way to Philly and then they force another star there in some capacity. Like you have to truly start stacking these teams and stacking the star power on the other side of the conference in order to counterbalance whatever's happening. And that's asking a lot of sacrifice that not a lot of guys want to do right now, except anyone who's going to the Warriors.
Steph Curry just tweeted, "The third splash, brother. Welcome."
The replies on that one are going to be something. I think we've got Andrew coming up on the
let's bring in Andrew. Do we have an Andrew on the Fan Cred fan line? Just gonna come in and talk about Steph Curry. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm really happy to be here at the NBA eulogy session today. So, quick question. I know that LeBron, I've heard in the news a couple times that LeBron's going to the Lakers today, but I wanted to ask if this DeMarcus going to OKC or going to Golden State thing was kind of just their way of saving money when they make Space Jam 2 and life Monstars versus LeBron and Lance Stevenson, a.k.a. Daffy Duck. So just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
We were supposed to get a trailer, right? When LeBron announced his decision, we were supposed to get a Space Jam 2 trailer. Maybe this is it. Maybe we're in it.
I love
We are all a part of the trailer. The NBA is the new Space Jam.
This is the most meta thing I've ever seen. So absolutely, I'm totally about it.
I do like the NBA eulogy though. I like that.
That's funny, man. That's funny. That's caption tweet game strong.
Yeah, that's pretty good. My question, real quick before we wrap this up: if LeBron pulled a DeAndre Jordan and used this news and was like, you know what, I'm not going to the Lakers. Maybe I'm going to go to Philly now, or try to go to Boston or whatever. Would anyone be that mad at him?
No. It wouldn't be.
Because it's the world against the Warriors, right? Maybe something to consider, LeBron. That would be. I mean, that's the only way you win back the summer.
The only way.
Yeah.
Unless every other NBA team was like, screw it, we're setting all our stars to the Lakers for nothing.
Yep. Giannis, you get to go. We'll take Luol Deng and
Lance Stevenson, we give you Joel and Ben.
Right, exactly.
You give us JaVale McGee, we're gonna give you Anthony Davis. Let's play this. Screw it.
Let's just get weird. Let's just get weird.
Come on, man. What I'm happy about now, though, is that we have our reactions live.
Yeah, we were 2 minutes away from wrapping that up and not getting that on the air.
Because I remember where I was when the Kevin Durant thing happened. I can't say that I was live on camera when it happened, though. I don't have any evidence that I witnessed that. I don't have any evidence that the LeBron James thing. I was live 2 minutes later, but I wasn't live before. So I'm pumped about that. I'm curious to get that back. But for everyone that tuned in live, the first 90% was not that historic, but the final 10%.
Pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, pretty damn good.
So for anyone that's tuned in now and watched from the decision onwards, is this the decision 2.0?
Yeah, I get. Or like,
what was the thing? What do we call that?
I think we just called it weak. I don't know if we called it anything. I think it was just an expert.
That Snake 2.0. Yeah. If you were tuned in for that, happy. Zach, it was a pleasure. For the first 90%, it was a pleasure. For the final 10%, less than a pleasure.
Kind of sucked, even though it was good, right?
It was amazing, but it's not going to be so amazing in October, and that's what we know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hopping in. This is interesting. We'll leave it at that. Peace.